Good morning, I am Pilar and my partner is Micaela. We are a student from the UTN of Civil Engineer Career Path. To start with this presentation, we can say that water is an important resource in tourism and service are heavily dependent on it. Nowadays, tourism absorbs a high percentage of the global consumption of water, and as well as this, is a key economic factor in many cities because large numbers of people go on vacation and water overconsumption is increasing. As a result, there is a water overconsumption that results in lack of water. Well, this problem is connected with the Sustainable Development Goal number 6, clean water and sanitation, which is related with the management and availability of water. The purpose of this SDG is to ensure the, the availability and the access to the water with the corresponding sanitation service. As far as the targets connected with this SDG are 6.b is about the participation of the local communities in improving management and availability of water. If the local communities implement some measures, the water could conserve. The water will conserve. Will be conserved. Bueno, the purpose of this paper is to delve into the consequences that the inadequate use of water has in tourist seasons and present several devices to decrease the water overconsumption. To achieve this aim, firstly, the problem of overconsumption is discussed in terms of its causes and consequences. Next, the chosen devices will be presented with their negative and positive aspects. And finally, the effectiveness of the application of the proposal devices will be evaluated. It is expected that this work may awaken interest in the readers and create positive habits in them.
Well, as my partner says, the tourist industry is dependent of freshwater resources, and this represents a problem because the consumption of water range between 80 and 2,000 liters per tourist per day. The major proportion of water is spent in uses like flushing the toilet, taking showers, and the use of the tap. Also, swimming pools represents important use of water, together with the watering of the gardens and landscaping of hotels and accommodations. It is a fact that hotels and accommodations which offer more quantity and quality of services spend more amount of water. In the next figure, there is some water use categories and which is the estimated use of water per tourist per day. As we know, people also consume water in their homes, but sorry, there is evidence that the tourist activities increases this consumption, and this leads to the classification into two types of water consumption, because indirectly they are consuming water embodied in infrastructure, for example. These classifications are direct use of water and indirect use of water. The indirect use refers to the water used in the construction of the buildings and the production of energy, and the water used in the production of food. And the direct use of water is the water consumption in accommodations and hotels.
Bueno, as my partner said, the indirect use of water is composed of the water embodied in food production. The production of food needs a lot of water. It is estimated that to support a diet human to support a human diet range to 2,000 to 5,000 liters per person per day of water. Then the production of energy, because the energy and the water are interlinked. The energy is necessary to produce the water, and then the fossil fuel for pardon, sorry, and the energy used at hotel, because tourists the hotel use the energy for lighting and operate their systems and the equipment they have. Pues así que the consequences, así vos.
No,
Sorry.
in the direct use of water, as we mentioned before, has to do with the use of the tap, the toilet, the shower, and also activities like do the dishes in the hotel, watering the gardens, and spas and swimming pools. In this section, there are two subsections, which are accommodation, that are these activities I said before, like the toilet, the shower, is the consumption made by each guest. And the other subsection is the maintenance of the recreational activities like golf or skiing.
The consequences are the reduce of the quality water, are reducing in the quality of the water, and the contamination due to the untreated water that enters into the water system.
Well, as we can see in this figure, most of the water footprint is associated with indirect use of water, but it involves many factors that are not possible to address by means of a device. This is why we focused the investigation in the proposal of devices to address the direct use of water. These devices will reduce by almost 50% the consumption. The first device is Water Pebble, that is an ecological device which was made to be recycled once its life cycle ends. It is a device that calculates the average amount of water used by the user. It can be placed in the floor of the shower, and it is the information is saved in the device's memory, and this data is used after in the next showers to warn the user about their consumption. It is a user-friendly device because it uses colors to warn the user. For example, green means that the consumption remains into the limits, and red means that the user exceeds the limits and need to reduce their consumption. This device can be used in every hotel room or accommodation, and it is recommended that to include a brief description of the device to ensure an efficient application.
The second device is the water boot. Sorry for el ruido. Is the water boot. It is an inexpensive method of rainwater harvesting, where the rain is where the rain from the rooftop is redirected through the downpipes and collected in a storage container. It consists in a tank with a tap, and it is great to wash the car, clean the sidewalks, and watering the garden. It is an ecological method because recycle the water, and the hotel can put water boots in their garden because the maintenance is water expensive. So with the water boot, they will reduce the use of running water.
The third device is Samsung Eco Bubble, that is a washing clothes machine that is capable of removing dirty by means of a bubble generator system. The system dissolves the detergent with the water and injects air, creating a layer of foam inside the machine. So the bubbles penetrates the fabrics and remove dirt 40 times faster than conventional soaps. Other factor to mention is the fact that this machine uses AI technology. It has intelligent sensors that detect the weight of the clothes and their level of dirt, and can calculate the amount of water and detergent, avoiding any excess or waste. And this device can be used in the laundry rooms, and also is recommended accumulate garments in order to use the machine in its maximum capacity, avoiding excess of process.
The last device is the water aerator, that it is a small attachment that either fits in the faucet and mix air with the water. So the pressure is not affected, but the the water use is reduced. The hotel can implement this device in the kitchens and in the bathrooms because it is adaptable.
Now, having presented the four devices, we are going to talk about the positive and negative aspect of them. First, the application of the devices will ensure the reduction of the energy used in the production of water treatments for the population consumption. Also, they will improve the availability of water, increasing the pressure in the water network. And the main advantage is that these devices can be used by everyone in their homes or hotels or accommodations and buildings, for example.
In relation to the devices themselves, a negative aspect is the fact that they can be expensive, and therefore not every person can have access to them. Another negative aspect is that the goal can not be met because the usage and the control depend of every person.
To end the presentations, we want to say that when sorry, I will start again. We want to say that wait, de nuevo. There is a lot of papers that talks about the water shortage or droughts or overconsumption of water, but few of them talks about how the tourist industry causes these problems. So we know that the tourist industry is a great economic factor nowadays, and we believe that it is important to discuss this topic um, to help to meet the sustainable development goals that includes the water management.
This paper has developed statistics about every activity carried out in accommodations, and it brings about no and proposal devices which aim to save water, and we expected that every person be concerned about the use of water.